The strangest part about lending someone money isn't losing the money. It's that moment when you realize they don't respond the same way anymore. The replies get shorter, the jokes feel dry, and suddenly it feels like you became a reminder of something they don't want to think about. That's usually how it starts. Not with a fight, not with drama, just a slow change in energy that almost everyone has experienced at least once. Most people assume that when someone borrows money and ghosts you, they were probably a bad person from the beginning. But a lot of the time, the psychology behind it is more complicated than that. Because some people aren't actually running from the money, they're running from the feeling attached to it. Once somebody owes you money, every interaction changes emotionally. Your messages stop feeling casual to them. Every notification from you becomes a reminder of stress, pressure, embarrassment, or failure. You stop being just a friend and start becoming associated with anxiety. That's why some people suddenly take hours to reply, then days, then eventually stop replying altogether. Not always because they're evil or manipulative, but because talking to you became emotionally uncomfortable. And almost everyone has seen that painfully familiar situation before. They post Instagram stories at cafes, they suddenly have new clothes, new shoes, sometimes even a new phone. Meanwhile, your money is still supposedly coming next week. That's usually the moment where frustration becomes personal, because now it no longer feels like a financial struggle, it feels disrespectful. But here's what makes this situation psychologically interesting. A lot of people break internally before they break financially. Most people genuinely see themselves as reliable, honest, trustworthy people. They believe they're the kind of person who would always pay someone back. But when reality clashes with that self-image, the brain starts protecting the ego, and that's when strange behavior begins appearing. People start making excuses they normally wouldn't. They avoid conversations. They become defensive. Sometimes they even act irritated toward the person they owe money to. You'll hear things like, "Why are you stressing me?" or "I already told you I'm handling it." Some even say, "You care more about money than friendship," while they're the ones who disappeared in the first place. And strangely enough, some people eventually begin resenting the person who actually helped them. Not because of the money itself, but because now you've seen them at a version of themselves they don't want anybody to see. You've seen them struggling, failing, avoiding responsibility, losing control. Your presence becomes psychologically connected to shame, and people naturally distance themselves from anything that reminds them of shame. That's why some friendships become cold after money gets involved, even before there's a real argument. Another thing people rarely talk about is that sometimes people don't borrow money to buy something. Sometimes they borrow money to buy time, temporary relief, a few extra days without panic, a short moment where life doesn't feel like it's collapsing. For a little while, borrowing money creates emotional oxygen. It creates the illusion that things are manageable again, but eventually reality catches up. And when reality returns, disappearance usually starts long before the person physically disappears. First, honesty disappears, then consistency disappears, then accountability disappears, and finally, the person disappears too. It always sounds the same. Tomorrow, next week. Things are rough right now. Everyone recognizes the slow fade when they see it. And to be fair, financial pressure really can bring out ugly behavior in people. Sometimes people genuinely will destroy a 10-year friendship over $200. That absolutely happens. But reducing every situation to bad people do bad things misses something deeper about human nature, because money has a strange ability to expose parts of people that normally stay hidden: pride, shame, ego, fear, desperation. Maybe that's the real reason lending money destroys so many relationships. Not because money instantly changes people, but because debt forces people to confront versions of themselves they don't know how to handle. And sometimes people don't slowly disappear because they lost the money. Sometimes they disappear because they can no longer be the same person they were before they borrowed it.